สวัสดีค่ะเชิญค่ะเชิญค่ะเรามี4ห้องนะคะ4แท้งค่ะวันนี้จะโฟลตเป็นห้องเบอร์4นะคะด้านซ้ายมือนะคะจะเป็นห้องแต่งตัวค่ะจะมีห้องแต่งตัวอยู่ด้านนี้นะคะเราจะมีเป็นไดร์เป่าผมนะคะแล้วก็อุปกรณ์ทุกอย่างไว้ให้ตรงนี้ได้พร้อมเลยนะคะแล้วหลังจากนั้นนะคะจะมีเสิร์ฟชาอยู่ที่ห้องนี้ค่ะเป็นเซนโซนนะคะฮิมาลายันซอลต์รูมค่ะเชิญเลยค่ะระวังนะคะ ตัวนี้จะเป็น isolation tank นะคะใส่เกลือแอปซอมโซเข้าไปในน้ำนะคะ600 กิโลกรัมค่ะอุณหภูมิน้ำจะอยู่ที่ 35.5 องศานะคะเป็นอุณหภูมิเดียวกับผิวค่ะก็ประโยชน์ของเขานะคะคือจะช่วยในเรื่องของการคลายกล้ามเนื้อในระดับลึกนะคะเลือดลมไหลเวียนดีนะคะช่วยให้นอนหลับง่ายนอนหลับสบายแล้วก็ช่วยลดความเครียดค่ะก็อย่างแรกเลยนะคะอาบน้ำนะคะอาบน้ำเสร็จแล้วซับหน้าให้แห้งนะคะด้านบนจะเป็นเอียร์ปลั๊กนะคะใส่เอียร์ปลั๊กเข้าไปนะคะแล้วก็ปิดไฟตรงนี้ให้หมดทั้ง2ดวงเลยนะคะลงไปในแท้งนะคะศีรษะจะอยู่ด้านนี้เท้าจะอยู่ด้านนู้นนะคะปิดหูจับตรงนี้ดึงลงมาให้หมดนะคะเวลาจะเปิดขึ้นดันขึ้นง่ายๆนะคะมีปุ่ม2ปุ่มนะคะปุ่มสีเขียวจะเป็นปุ่มสำหรับเปิดปิดไฟนะคะสีแดงจะเป็น emergency ถ้าเกิดว่าต้องการอะไรหรือว่าต้องการความช่วยเหลือกดได้นะคะจะมีเพลงให้10 นาทีแรกกับ5 นาทีสุดท้ายและอยู่ในความเงียบทั้งเซสชั่นค่ะ
So I'm about to go in shower, and then after shower I'm gonna go and jumping in for about an hour, and I'm gonna try to see if my phone can fit in, and then maybe take it off later, so that you can see how it looks inside. So let's go and shower. What's up, guys? I'm here at Fort Center today, and I'm going to introduce to you Sam. I'm going to give all the details that you need in order to know about the fort. So he's an expert on this, so let's give it to you guys.
Okay, so floating has been around for many years. It's actually since in the middle of the 1950s. It was started by a guy by the name of Dr. John C. Lilly, who was actually trying to treat people with manic depression, and he had a 100% success rate just purely from floating in 10 inches of water, which is heated to 34.2 degrees Celsius, the same temperature as our external skin temperature. But floating really has immense, benefits that can help you externally and help you also internally. People have been doing it in the Dead Sea actually for thousands of years, but now this new concept of floating in a pod completely isolates all the external stimulus into your 5 key senses: your hearing, your sight, your smell, your taste, and your touch. And as I mentioned before, 34.2 degrees Celsius. After a while, and you've been floating for 5 or 10 minutes, your body assimilates and you don't feel anything. And without seeing anything, and without hearing anything, and without tasting anything, all your senses are completely resting. What that does is that it actually lowers the level of cortisol immensely, tremendously actually, and then levels of endorphins and dopamine actually rise in your body. That's what gives you a real sense of good being, well-being, as well as good moods as well. So it raises that and lowers the level of cortisol. Actually, 90% of our sickness and disease comes from stress. This whole thing about floating is actually to reduce the level of strength, so that level of stress, so that it actually can also strengthen your immune system. So your immune system is being strengthened just by purely floating. And there's no signals going into the brain, because the brain's now not necessarily having to worry about your hearing and your touch and your seeing and your smell and your taste. So while it's resting, the body is actually just completely at rest. It's almost like floating in space. The lights are off, the sounds are off, you're not hearing anything from the external influences. And so all of this is just taking place while you're actually doing nothing for almost 60 minutes or 90 minutes. Not only that, Epsom salt, which is in the water, actually is what produces the buoyancy. But not only that, Epsom salt, which is also a scientific name of magnesium sulfate, is doing a tremendous job to your skin. And while that is actually just fixing and detoxifying your skin, your body is actually absorbing that magnesium sulfate, and it's actually relaxing your muscle tissues. And that's why we have a lot of people who are, in sports and weightlifting, gym junkies actually, who come here and just completely recover. Floating actually improves recovery by 45%. That means if you're practicing on a muscle, a particular muscle exercise, you can, and instead of leaving it for 48 hours before you can do it again on those muscle groups, you can actually do it within the next 24 hours. So we get lots of sportsmen and women play soccer, tennis, and many other sports who actually come here and just relax for 60 minutes or 90 minutes. This relaxation sensation is actually revolutionary, and it's revolutionizing a lot of people's health as well. Because the Epsom salt also is very good for eczema and all the skin conditions like psoriasis, for instance. And we've had people who have testified that they've had it for about 20 years and been using cortisone injections for all these years, and they find that after 2 or 3 float sessions, all of that is completely gone. So floating has incredible benefits. Not only that, as it's also reducing the tension in your muscles, it's allowing the blood to flow freely. And of course, blood carries oxygen throughout the body, and that's what causes a lot of the healing as well. So it goes into all corners of your body and produces all of this level of healing that you don't even know about. So the beauty about all of this is that while you're just doing nothing, your body is going through a complete healing process, and of course benefiting you, and the sensation stays with you for about 5 to 7 days. So you can float today and in fact experience a lot of the goodness of floating over the next 5, 6, 7 days. So enjoy it. Office syndrome, depression, and also tension, anxiety. We get a lot of people who actually come into our center and really sense the benefits of floating just after 1 or 2 float sessions. Enjoy it.
All right, guys, I just finished from the tube, and that was very good. Actually, I'm just gonna give you a little review from last time, because I was in last time, and when I get out of there was incredible. But one of the most impressive thing was when I was in the class, one of my members see something that I myself I didn't see. She see a sign of positivity, and that she told me after she saw I post the video. So she was asking herself a question: why Cena look so different? And then later on, when I post the video that I took from here, and then she said, now I understand. After she saw that video, then she messaged me directly, Cena, now I understand why you are like this today. And I said, what do you mean? And then she told me, you look so energetic, you are very positive, and which all of that I didn't actually put in my mind. I just do my thing, But it was a good thing to actually see people seeing that in you by just having 1 hour of being in a tube, and experience things like that. That day when I get out, I was very hungry. I couldn't even walk properly until when I showered, and slowly when I was, by time, I kind of built up my energy. It was like just getting reborn again, and that was a very good experience. And today was the same thing, but not as much weaker like the last time. Last time I feel like I have no strength. I'm like strengthless, like I have no strength, I have no energy. But today was a bit better. I didn't feel like that. And the good things about it, when you in there, you kind of lose all the sense. Like you you like the first 10 minutes, you kind of realize yourself, you can think and do whatever you want, but you cannot just move that much because you are floating. And then along the way, when you in 10, 15, 20 minutes, you kind of lost yourself, your brain, everything is shut down, and you just kind of fall asleep and you don't know where you are until when you hear the last 5 minutes music that's gonna wake you up. So it's a very good experience. I really recommend people to come and check it out, especially people that are going through depression, people that are like want a recovery, fast recovery, because also increase your recovery. Because if you check on science, for people who does go to the gym, like let's say myself, I train almost heavy every day, and then in order for me to train heavy day, it's very hard. But because if you train every day, like let's say if you train upper body today, and you want to train again upper body tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, you need actually 80 hours to be able to train again the same muscles for the 80 hours. But this place, it kind of accelerates, it kind of increase your recovery process in your body. But for now, I can actually lift a little bit heavier almost every day. If I do come here almost every week, my recovery process is gonna go a little bit faster than usual. So I recommend almost everyone. There is no like these things for these people, this thing, no. It's everyone, even if you're not sick, even if you don't go to the gym, even if you're an office person that sits in a chair every day, this is a really good place for you to actually come once or twice a week and just relax, be yourself, just lose yourself, being somewhere that you've never been before. Because being in there is not just relaxing and just chilling, but it's also take you somewhere else where your brain gonna actually shut down and forget about everything, forget about your body, forget about your problems, forget about the things that you are going through. It's just being yourself and don't know where you are until when you wake up again and actually feel more relaxed and recovered. I hope this video really helped you, because some give a lot of details what it is about, and because myself, I'm not good to details as you can see, but I hope it helped you, and you can check it out sometime and let me know how it goes if you check it out, and it will be really good to hear from you. Thank you guys, and thank you so much for watching. Sorry, crap.